What's up guys, it's English Dan back with another video after a little while. Yes, I've been waiting to try and get this sort of situated and it's still not done and it's taking too long. So if it's a little echoey and things like that, well, I haven't got my wireless labs yet and I'm using a boom mic on top of my camera, so sorry. Will improve going forward, so will the backdrop going forward, and yes, believe it or not, just like the old days, red Solo Cup. Anyway, Pixel 6a. Alright, welcome back guys. So some of you may know, all of you may know, or nobody may know that I'm actually part of Team Pixel, so they send out the Pixel phones to me as they come available for pre-order for you guys, and that way we get to have a good play around with these. Now obviously I wasn't able to make a video at the time when we very first got this, so no unboxing or anything. There's thousands of them on YouTube already, but I've been able to use this now since the days pre-orders started, and you know, I've been hearing a lot of hate about this phone and I just don't understand it. So let's start off with the specs. I mean, it's quite straightforward. It's got Pixel's Tensor inside here, Pixel Tensor's system on a chip, and it's the high-end chip that powers the Pixel 6 Pro and the Pixel 6 series. So you're getting the high-end chip from there in this budget device, which is like $449 with a $50 gift card, I believe, in some places, and I've seen it go down recently to $399 in some places. Anyway, by the by, so it's a budget device, but it does come with the high-end chip, 6 gigs of onboard RAM and 128 gigs of storage. You can also get it in 256 gigs of storage. It does have an OLED display. That wasn't meant to happen. I'm updating the Mac Mini. It's been a while. Anyway, you can get this in 256 gig of storage as well. It does have an OLED display, 1080p OLED display, not a bad display at all. Does have 60 Hertz. Oh my god, everybody on the entire planet is crying that the Pixel 6a at $449 has a 60 Hertz display. So does the iPhone 13. That's $799. Stop it. Stop. I don't want to hear this. Oh, but iPhone 60 Hertz is not the same as 60 Hertz. It's all 60 Hertz. It's to do with animations. You can turn the animations off so it'll move like an iPhone. Stop it. In-screen fingerprint sensor, which actually works a lot better than what it did on my Pixel 6. Pixel 6 fingerprint sensor drove me crazy. This one, as you can see, actually works really well, pretty fast. Not the fastest, but it's a damn sight quicker than the Pixel 6 and a lot more accurate. The Pixel 6, it was like I was trying to unlock it with like my fist or the palm of my hand. It was like, let's go, come on, we can do it. No, this one, as you can see, absolutely fine. So yeah, also comes with downgraded cameras compared to the Pixel 6. Comes with the 12 megapixel cameras that you found in the Pixel 5. Don't let that put you off, really. I'm just going to put this out there right now straight away. I think the pictures on this are almost, if not as good as what you get out of the new Pixel 6 and 6 Pro. Just saying, I mean, it sounds stupid because they're a 50 megapixel camera for their main camera, but the 12 megapixel still works wonders. This is the camera that was in the Pixel 2, 3, 3A, 4, 4A, 5, 5A, and now the 6A. So it's been around for a while. Google know this camera and they know how to get the best out of it, and boy, they do. And I'll show you some samples while we're going through. I don't want to concentrate too much on the camera because everybody knows when it comes to photography, the Pixel is really good. Yes, competitors are caught up a lot, but still, photography wise, this is a really good phone, especially at $449. It's like, wow, that does some amazing photographs. So when it comes to build quality, built very much like the Pixel 6. Now, I actually prefer the build on the Pixel 6a because, yes, it has that visor across the back, as you can see there, but it doesn't protrude from the phone as much as it does on the Pixel 6 and 6 Pro. Why? Because it's got the smaller sensors. Obviously, it doesn't have to have a telescope camera in there either, so it's, you know, a lot more compact and able to be more compact and fit in a smaller package. That's what she said. On the left hand side you do have the flash, then you do have the ultra wide and the main camera. So you do get a dual camera system on this, not a triple setup. I don't know why you would expect that. Dual camera system. Hole punch cut out on the front of the screen for your camera. If I remember rightly, it's an 8 megapixel camera for the selfie camera. Again, takes some really good photographs, especially portrait. It is particularly good at portrait mode, this camera, especially with the rear cameras as well. But like I say, I'll show you more on that later. Does have decent sound coming from it, surprisingly. I was quite shocked with that, and the weight is nice. Got aluminum rails that are matte black. Much prefer them over the glossy that they put on the 6 Pro. Don't know why they did that, because they did the matte on the 6. They should have just stayed with that all the way around. And it's got a plastic back. Some people think it's glass. It's plastic, but it looks like glass, so fair play. Is missing one thing that I never used to care about until I've got my new job now, where I'm driving about 1,000 miles a week, and I have a charger, or how can I say, I have a dock in my truck that allows me to put my phone down and it will charge at the same time through wireless charging. Wah, wah, wah. Never really cared about it before, but I do now. So wireless charging for me is a big miss on this. But putting things into perspective and price, they do cut corners somewhere. They have to make the phone reach a certain price point. But yeah, no wireless charging. Bit of a bummer. Would have liked to have seen that, seeing as it doesn't have a high refresh rate. 90 Hz screen would have been nice, but like I said, 60 Hz doesn't matter. It doesn't make a difference. As you can see, it's plenty fast enough, this phone. Very, very quick. Goes through apps like no problem. Doesn't have stutters. You can see me scrolling through Twitter. You can see me scrolling through Facebook, YouTube. It just goes. It's a very fast device. So at $449, you're getting flagship speed and performance out of this phone. It's not slowed down on me at all. I've been very happy with it. Right now I am running Android 13. I had the beta on there. I've not done the update to see if the full version's available on the 6A yet. But let me tell you that Android 13 on the 6A just improves the device all over. We all know Android 12 was a bit of a buggy mess, and it was all the way through, and it was probably Google's worst, how can I say this? It was their worst iteration of Android, I'm going to say, apart from the early days when they were trying to get a grips with much slower hardware and things like that. But in days of fast hardware, lots of RAM available, fast chips, Android 12 came out the gates full of bugs, and every time they tried to fix something, they seemed to break something else, or something else got broken along the way. Luckily, Android 13, even the beta, seemed to be more stable than Android 12. So yeah, when you get one of these, if you're getting one of these after this video has gone live, then you're probably going to find that it's faster than it would have been on Android 12. That update is great. Also, let me apologize, because my son's in the other room and he's having a tantrum, so if you do hear him in the background. So it does come with a 6.1 inch display, so it's a little bit smaller than the Pixel 6. I actually prefer the screen size on this. I think as an overall package, this is a better size. If I was Google, I would probably go ahead and release a Pixel 7 Pro, which they're going to, obviously, and they're obviously going to release a Pixel 7, but I think they would be far better off if they went with a Pixel 7a and then a Pixel 7 Pro. This being the smaller, much more affordable device, cut some corners to get down to that lower price, but then offer the Pro version, or Ultra, like people like to call it today, whatever the next phone's going to be called. Pretty sure they said Pixel 7 Pro, so yeah, I know there's been rumours of a Pixel 7 Ultra. Mr. Who's the Boss got caught with his pants down on that a few years ago when there was going to be a Pixel Ultra, if you remember. He got fed a load of wrong information. Unlucky Aaron, but you did get a lot of views from it, and I think you're awesome. Anyway, battery on this lasts me all day, get through all day, no problem. The battery on this lasts me longer than what the battery does in the actual Pixel 6, and I do have the Pixel 6 right here. You probably just heard it go off with a notification because I'm kind of stupid and didn't put it on mute. But yeah, it is, you can see the size difference between the two phones as well. It is quite considerable, and the weight difference is also a big difference between these two phones. But anyway, we're talking about the Pixel 6a. So yeah, overall I'm really happy with this phone. I think it's a great device. For somebody who wants to take photographs on a phone and make them look good pretty much every time they take a photo to upload it to social media, things like that, can't go wrong with the Pixel 6a. Like I say, you got flagship performance and speed. It's gonna just go through everything. Everything looks good on here. The screen is decent. A little bit dim in sunlight, like direct sunlight. I'm here in Florida now, and outside you have to have it cranked all the way up, and it still sometimes could be a little bit difficult to see. But still, at this price, the screen I think is pretty decent. Just ignore the crying about 60 hertz. People who cry about 60 hertz are just picking at things. I can guarantee you now, average Joe that walks into Best Buy or whatever store sells this around the world doesn't walk up to this phone and go, oh my god, it's 60 hertz. They don't even know what 60 hertz means. It's only us tech geeks that really get into that. That's a fact. If I could give this phone to my dad and he started scrolling around, even coming from his S21 Ultra that he's using, he wouldn't notice. He'd be like, oh yeah, this is cool. He wouldn't be like, 60 hertz. So yeah, overall, the Pixel 6a is a really good device. Lightweight, smaller size screen for those people who like the mini type of phone, even though 6.1 inches isn't mini, but nowadays it's a smaller size. Lightweight, like I said, good build quality, durable because it's going to have the plastic back. Negative, it is missing wireless charging. Wish it was in there. 60 hertz display, I think it works fine. Some people are going to cry wanting 90 hertz. Hey, you pick your battles, okay? What did you want? The tensor in there that's going to make your device a lot faster? Or would you rather have a 90 hertz display and a Snapdragon 765G? I know what I'd rather have, so people who choose the other, well, obviously you don't care about longevity in your cell phones, whereas a lot of people do. Most people keep their phones for at least a couple of years. So yeah, overall, yes, I love Pixels, and people are going to be like, you're biased, but at $449, you're going to struggle, especially in America, to find a phone that's as good as this at this price. And don't come at me with the iPhone SE. That looks like it was dug up next to the dinosaur bones that they found recently. Okay, that thing looks like a relic. Yes, it's got the high-end chip. Yes, it's got a good camera, but it's only a single camera, and the body on it is just... The only reason I would suggest the iPhone SE over the Google Pixel 6a is because of people being in iOS or wanting an iPhone. If you want an iPhone and you want to save money, you're just going to go and buy that. No one's going to change your mind and make you go with something like this. But if you're on the fence of which to go with, I'd highly recommend the Pixel 6a. Alright guys, catch you in the next one.